We are in the Francois Peron National Park where the rugged landscape meets the ocean. We're starting at our favourite campsite Gregories right on the beach before checking out something a little bit different. In this episode we make several attempts at catching our dinner, we check out the snorkelling at Bottle Bay, and we'll show you some of the sights around Denham and Shark Bay. So sit back and enjoy as we take you on an adventure through this incredible part of Western Australia. Welcome back to another episode. If you haven't caught our previous episode, this is episode 2. Now this morning we are here early on Gregories Beach. We got down here super duper early so that we can step out onto the reef. So if you watched the previous video already, you'll see we attempted to catch a big fish off the reef, but at the wrong time as the tide was coming in, and it was up to here on me, so a little bit sketchy. So we packed that one in, but we got up super early this morning. We made some new rigs while we were sitting on the beach having our coffee, and let's get into it.
Yeah. There's only about that much water on the actual reef just here, so you can actually walk right to the edge of the rock ledge and chuck off, and it's great conditions today. So wind's actually behind us slightly.
Yeah. Tide is out.
If it's gonna happen today. So
let's go.
Let's go.
So last night around camp, Warren speared some ghost crabs. They're absolutely everywhere here. Well, we were actually chatting to one of the rangers here, and he said to use them as bait. So yeah, he speared a couple of them just at camp, and we've attached half to the rig. This is the first time that we fished like this, so we're just giving it a crack.
Yep, really good. Emma's first cast with the big rod. And she's in. Oysters galore. Actually, most of these will be under the high tide line as of sort of about 12 o'clock, so they'd be pretty good eating. We had some last time. Emma's still out there on the reef. She's getting a few little bites, so I'm going to let her do her thing for a minute, and I'm going to put the I'm just going to chuck in the lighter rig because she's got the only big rig that we've got, so I'm going to chuck in a lighter rig and just see what happens. Yesterday was really good. We got 4 or 5 really good sized whiting, which we're going to have for lunch today, so yeah, pretty cool. So we don't pretend to know what we're doing fishing wise, but we're just having a bit of a crack. So Emma's got her rig back in the water. We've changed the bait. We went from the crab to, we're using some of the blue line emperor that we caught the other day. And I've gone and put, I've got a 45 gram sinker with a couple of bigger hooks on it now. So I've gone from my rig is quite light. This braid's pretty strong though, so this rig is light. So if I get something really big on it, who knows? But we're just gonna have a crack because this setup I've never actually used before. So we're gonna have a good crack at it.
Fishing was not successful. Never mind, it was still fun. We made some solid attempts, but yeah, never mind, unsuccessful.
I feel like we're still trying to learn how to fish.
Yes.
And be good fisher people.
True. Yeah.
I mean, we had bites. We had some bites.
Oh, heaps.
Yeah, heaps of bites, but nothing We were going for much bigger things. I feel like if we put on all the light rigs again, we would have just got more small fish again.
Yeah.
So we were actively trying to go for something
different.
bigger.
Yeah, something
I guess that's always going to be hard.
Of course. Anyway, we are going to check out Bottle Bay. So we have been to Bottle Bay before, but you can take your car onto the beach, so you can drive right onto the beach. You can get set up there. It's also a campsite, and you can actually launch a boat from Bottle Bay as well. But it's a very short drive, like 5-10 minutes. We're just on the track now. So yeah, we're just going to check out Bottle Bay, and we're keeping our eyes out for thorny devils because we saw one on this track yesterday, right in the middle of the track.
Right in the middle of the drive.
Yeah, so we are keeping our eyes out for any more. Jump in and have a little snorkel. Some people said that there's quite a lot of colourful fish, so we didn't really bring much, just our masks. So we're going to give it a crack.
Didn't bring anything. Didn't bring fins. Didn't bring our dive bags. They're all just back at camp. We didn't really think today, did we? Like, I think it was just more like come and chill out up here, but we just can't sit down.
True.
So we jumped in the water for a quick snorkel. It was nice and clear. I immediately saw some nice parrotfish and some smaller baldies getting around. So I quickly jumped out and grabbed my spear gun, hoping to grab something mid-sized for dinner, as we had quite a lot of whiting. A few minutes in the water and I was able to grab a nice little baldy that we were able to have with dinner and our whiting later on. So we've had a pretty uneventful afternoon. We really had to organise the car as we're leaving tomorrow morning. We didn't want to do like all of that tomorrow morning. We kind of want to just like enjoy the last morning, have a nice coffee, and we like to chill out. We always like to do that on the last morning, just relax and chill out. I hate rushing out on the last morning without enjoying like that chill out last cup of coffee. We're probably going to go for a sup board.
Yeah, because I really want to go.
Emma wants to really go out and sup, and I'd like to have another sup board as well. So yeah, that's what we're going to do tomorrow morning. Anyway, we are making fish tacos for dinner. There you go. Minus the flour, eh?
The flour is sitting at home on top of the trailer, in the garage.
Yeah.
But anyway, we make do.
I didn't know that we needed it, so yeah. Anyway, it's like the one thing that I forgot. We won't talk about the 3 or 4 things that Emma forgot. But anyway, let's not talk about that. So yeah, bit of panko crumb, so a little bit of egg, a little bit of panko crumb. That's on all of the fish that we've caught up here. So it's all the fresh fish that we've caught today and yesterday. Hey. Woohoo. Yeah.
That's it, freshly caught. It's a little bit of a story for you. A couple of days ago, in the previous episode, Warren actually lost this actual camera in the ocean. Yeah, that one. We were talking to a guy down here who is a ranger and lives in the area, and he was telling us that there's a number of indigenous burial grounds through here, and that there's actually a spirit that comes through here. And
there's two big burial grounds. There's one. Well, he said there used to be one here on the point where the goats come through,
Yes.
Which is where the camera
where
washed
you lost
back
the
up.
camera.
Where I lost it.
Where you lost the camera.
Where it washed back up as well.
Yeah.
And then there's a larger burial ground. Well, also they say Redcliffe up
The top of Redcliffe.
past
where we were today.
Bottle Bay, and then another one past Cattlewell.
Yes.
On the way out as well. So yeah, there's a few.
Yeah, so there's three Indigenous burial grounds here, and they say that there's a spirit here. When we were talking to him, right before we talked to him, the camera actually washed up on the shore after being in the ocean overnight, right at our feet as well, in a completely different spot to where Warren lost it. So
should say that
so
we
spooky.
are not should say that I'm a pretty stringent atheist. Like, we don't really and by the way, that's we fully accept that people have religions, and there's mystics and people get into all of that sort of stuff. We don't. We're pretty pragmatic, practical people. But I gotta say, when it rocked back up on the beach and Emma was like, I just locked onto that whiting.
Yes.
And you were like, oh my god, and I'm like, what? And she picked up the GoPro, and I'm like,
out of the swell.
And I'm like, man, I got goosebumps. I was like,
crazy.
I was like, how? It had been in the ocean all night. And by the way, it's the one we're recording on. It's still working perfectly.
Fine. It works.
Been in the ocean all night, and for most of the day as well. And I went looking for it. I could not find it anywhere. I was out there for ages. I was supboarding.
Yeah, I wandered through the shallows for a while.
You tried snorkeling for it. I tried snorkeling for it. We took the supboard out. I couldn't find it on the supboard either.
Yeah.
And the water was crystal clear when I was out on the supboard. I could see everything, and I could not find it anywhere.
Crazy.
Had it just rocked up at our feet, just got handed back.
Yeah.
So
anyway, this guy Cameron said maybe it was the spirit.
Maybe he was looking
through
after
here.
us. Yeah.
He did say, though, that the spirit can be good and bad because some German tourists actually came across some human remains, which was part of the Indigenous burial ground, and they took them to the police station in town. The sergeant was just new there. He didn't know that these were Indigenous burial grounds, and he stored the bones on site. And he said that he was
sleep, and he was
terrorized. For a while until they reburied the bones.
Crazy.
So,
and also, it wasn't the German tourists' fault, because at the end of the day, they wouldn't have known. Nobody would have known.
No.
And also, that's what you would do with a bone that you'd find, I reckon. So I mean, I feel like we'd do the same thing.
I don't know that I'd be taking it, but anyway, never mind.
Yeah, true. I probably wouldn't take it, but I mean, still, we'd probably tell the authorities about it and not realise. You know what I mean? But anyway, freaky. I just that this whole story, even though it sounds a bit wacky, but anyway, it's been a cool part of the trip.
But very cool, and very cool to know that this place here is super important to the Indigenous people. So 3 Indigenous burial grounds just in the Francois Peron National Park.
So keep it pristine.
So
keep it pristine. Keep it the way it is right now, because it'll be around for millennia to enjoy for sure.
It's such a beautiful place. And we're on our way out of the national park now. The drive in is a little bit challenging. You do need to have the right vehicle. You were just saying the right tyre pressures as well, hey?
It's tyre pressures. This is one of the only tracks where you'll get an air compressor at the end of the track. I think that guy was saying they keep this track. They don't maintain it on purpose.
Yes.
So don't come out here expecting this to be maintained. They do grade this salt pan, but I think that's just to stop crust forming on top, and where people would get very much bogged down in the crust. He even told, that was that story. He even told us a story of a gentleman who walked into the ranger's office down in Shark Bay and demanded that he get his money back because he couldn't make it. He paid to get into the national park and the track was too rough. He couldn't make it out to see the places he wanted, and he demanded for his money back at the office. They were like,
you pay $17 if you don't have a national park pass. You pay $17 to access the national park. But yeah, you have to be prepared. If you want to come out and check these places out, then you do have to be prepared for this track. So it's quite hard, isn't it? Most of the way up, it's corrugated, it's hard sand. There's a very soft part just before Gregories, which we've been bogged in twice.
if you're worried about it, my advice would be come out in the early morning or in the cooler part of the evening.
Anyway, we're off into town. We're gonna hit up Shark Bay, and we're gonna check out a few of the sites, so we'll take you along.
Morning everybody. So yesterday when we got out of Francois Peron National Park, it was very, very hot.
Yeah.
We were pretty frazzed out actually. We had planned to possibly just stay a night in Denham so that we could sort of do the aquarium tour that we really loved a couple of years ago, and Emma wanted to do Shell Beach one more time as well. So as we went into Denham, Emma just said, oh, why don't we just stay out at Monkey Mire? And we've never been to Monkey Mire. I've been up here 4 times, never been to Monkey Mire. So we quickly rang up, got a site, little grassy patch. There's no privacy there.
It was a bit of a culture shock, wasn't it, at
It was
first?
a big shock because we just had this off-grid experience that was incredible and absolutely amazing. But anyway, look, it is what it is. It wasn't too packed in because it's not actually that busy, believe it or not. The caravan area is, and all the units are busy, but that sort of camping area must be quite transient for people coming in and out of the area. Yeah. Anyway, we got a little campsite. It was really nice, and we just kind of had like the full resort experience for the afternoon.
A nice dinner, some cocktails.
Yeah, laid on the beach for the afternoon, went for a sup board, read our books. We even managed to dip in the pool as well. So anyway, we really liked it. I think RAC's great. I reckon it would be awesome if you came with a family group or you were a family. You wanted to sort of see the area. You could nab yourself a cabin for a few days. You could just punch in and out of Francois Peron for a couple of days, just and experience all of that.
Explore the area.
And it's really nice here. And I think if you've got kids, this place is a mecca. Like you've got 2 different pools. You've got all these amazing facilities. You've got a massive shop where you can pick up some supplies. You've got an easy access beach. Look at this beach. Hang on, here we go. I'm swinging us around. Look at this beach. It's beautiful and flat, and it stays like this right through the day. We only got a bit of wind yesterday afternoon. It was just amazing. But you kind of get like this whole beautiful experience. So if you've got kids and you're sort of worried about wild camping out on Francois Peron, I totally get it. This would be a really good place to sort of base yourself for a few days. Anyway, so our plan this morning is we're going to have some breakfast. We're going to actually go see the dolphins.
Yeah, don't know how I feel about it, but I'm here and I've got to see it anyway. Look,
it's a tourist attraction, absolutely.
Yeah, you have to pay entry into the park as well as your RSC booking. Yeah. So, and that gets you access to the dolphins. So paid $30, so I'm going to go down and see what it's all about. Yeah. We'll take a bit of footage, and then after that we're going to check out the aquarium. We'll take in the camera and let you see it, because it's such a really cool experience. We've done it once before and it was so good.
It's just the information you get on the sea life in the area. The aquarium itself is not very big, but it's just they have a very eclectic group of animals there, because a lot of it's like sea life restoration. Like they're trying to either rehabilitate injured animals, or they're looking after sick animals that they find out in the ocean. So I think that's quite cool. Yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll hit Shell Beach, and then it's really just the long trip home. We're going to smash most of it today. Yeah, and probably plan to get home late tonight. But you know, it's yeah, going to be a nice little day, and it's shaping up to be a beautiful day. So
Yeah.
we'll take you guys along for the ride.
Well guys, that's pretty much us wrapping things up. I did end up checking out the dolphins. We hung around for a while, and then we were getting really hungry for breakfast, so we went up for breakfast and then we basically could just see them from there, so I just walked down, got a couple of photos. It was pretty cool, to be fair. They were feeding themselves right in front of us on the beach. So
They're chasing fish, weren't
they were chasing fish and yeah, feeding. So that was really cool. It was a pretty nice experience to end Monkey Mile. So yeah.
I think you thought it was going to be more like they're getting hand fed.
Yeah,
I think that
did.
might happen sometimes. Like they get them getting hand fed mullet.
Yeah.
But I think today they just let them come in.
Yeah, they came
and do
in.
their thing.
They sort of they fed themselves in the bay pretty much. So yeah, which was nice.
Yeah, and then obviously from Ocean Park we went down and really wanted to drop into Shell Beach. So Shell Beach is actually pretty interesting. It is a crappy beach if you want to have a swim, so it's not a swimming beach.
Not really.
The bay there, there's a real high concentration of salt in that bay, due to a particular weed that grows in there as well. So basically the high salt concentration of Shell Beach and where the bay is there, like nothing can live there. And so the only thing that really thrives there are this particular type of cockle.
Yeah.
And obviously over a lot of years, the cockle shells have built up. They used to cut it and use it to make houses in the area. I think there's a restaurant in town.
The Old Perler, I think it's called.
That's the one.
Is built from the shells.
Cockle shells. So yeah, so I think that's what they used to do there. But anyway, now it's kind of like an Insta-worthy shot place.
Not for us because it was blowing a gale.
It was blowing a gale. Yeah, it was absolutely blowing a gale today. But
it's nice to see though.
It's a cool spot. I mean, cool. Definitely interesting, especially if you've got little kids. Like they get to basically there's no sand, so you're walking on hundreds of years of compacted cockle shells.
Yeah, but wear shoes because it hurts your feet.
Yeah, and then when you get down the end, you can pick up just mounds of these cockle shells.
Yeah.
You can't take any of them at all.
No.
But you can have a good. The kids could have a good old play through there, and it's quite nice.
Cool, hey?
The water is clear and flat as a tap because it's in a bay.
Yeah.
But
it's not deep.
Just be prepared for it to be really, really salty. Like it's very, very salty.
It is very salty, and it's probably only knee deep. So there ain't any swimming, and it doesn't matter how far you walk, you feel like you're never going to get to the end.
Yeah.
So
But that pretty much concludes our trip, guys. I think it still goes down as it's probably our favourite place in WA if we had to have a short trip away. It's got everything you would need in that place. It's got snorkeling, it's got spearing, it's got fishing, it's got full driving, it's got a resort experience if that's what you want. It's got loads of things for kids like the aquariums and all the different beaches. You've got the town of Denham, you've got cafes, you can get your booze, you can hit the IGA, there's fuel. Basically that whole place is a one-stop shop. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Please subscribe if you're liking what we're doing. Hit the like button, leave us a comment. anything you'd like to know, any suggestions for the areas or any suggestions for videos coming up, well, we'd love to hear from you guys irregardless. But yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys in the next one.